wrestling fans? It is the Raw reaction.
That's not Ruben.
Yeah, I'm not Ruben. I'm not as beautiful. We're here to talk about Night of Champions.
And Raw.
The Raw reaction to it, at least, right? Got Angel Kicks Balls, Johnny the Dad as always. Fellas, how are we doing this evening?
It was good. I mean, the Raw started at 5 p.m. last night, so I mean, it was a little weird. Had a lot of downtime in between filming the show and Raw ending. Didn't really know what to do. Kids had mental breakdowns. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, I was watching it while I was like getting like dinner put together. I was like, this is strange. Angel,
You eat at 5?
I was driving from Houston, and it made my drive entertaining. When I had signal.
Am I? No, I have 2 kids, dude. Come on, man. You got to get food in when you can. You know that.
Shout out to the parents.
Shout out to the parents. Shout out to the dads that aren't named Johnny and the ones that are named Johnny. Okay, let's get right into it. Night of Champions opens with Rhea. All right, guys, Night of Champions. Let's talk about what we liked, what we didn't like. I will go first. I'm going to jump real far ahead just because I want to get this out there. Cena Punk, for the buildup we got, unbelievable. Some of the best promos that those two have had all year, to absolutely look like a dumpster fire out there on the ring. And John, as you rightfully said when we talked offline, you had to have the Seth Rollins faction come in there and literally save them from themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I said on the show last week, like Cena's pipe bomb was, I think, the best promo he's cut in a decade or more. I thought it was awesome. And then CM Punk's response to it was equally great. And then the bell rings, which we say about a lot of wrestlers. But then then the bell rings, and it looked like the 2 slowest guys that you have ever seen wrestle doing like the same 3 moves over and over. And then Seth came out, and him and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed saved the entire night, in my opinion, because it ended and you were like, okay, that was actually pretty satisfying. Like that was some cool stuff they did at the end. And it almost made you forget that you just watched 20 minutes of dog water wrestling. So, Angel, what did you think?
I thought it was just a classic, 2 of the GOATs going at it. Obviously, they're not in their prime. I've been saying CM Punk's lost a step, but so has John Cena. We're not.
Oh, he's lost multiple steps, I think.
We're not getting the prime, the prime of that we grew up with. We're getting a 50-year-old guy versus a 48-year-old, and it shows. But I still think there were some cool spots in there, like them shaking hands, hugging it out, and then John Cena looking at the title and going berserk. But Seth coming out, that was pretty cool. I know some people hated it, but I thought it was pretty cool to see kind of CM Punk and John Cena teaming up to take these guys out. That was pretty cool.
And also, too, I think that the long-term storytelling, the continuity of the fact that you had Seth literally say, what was it, months ago, I would do everything in my power, give whatever it takes to make sure CM Punk does not have that belt around his waist. And so for him to be there just for that, I like that. Like, that made me feel like, because in past storylines, we've seen them say things, and you're like, oh, so you're not going to follow up on that at all? You just say it just to say it? And he actually like stood on business, and they let him actually follow through on that. I appreciated that from that angle.
Generational hater.
I strive to be as petty as Seth Rollins.
Yeah. One thing I will say, though, guys, that this is just my opinion. I am a massive CM Punk fan, obviously, but we all know, and John, very intimately, it is difficult to try and have a good match with somebody is as slow as John Cena. And so I think it's a little unfair to put all of it like equally on both of them. I think it's more sided on Cena than it is Punk, because let's just be honest. We obviously like we pull the curtain back. Like it's not like they don't know like what's going on in this match and where it's going to end at. The fact that like CM Punk is having to essentially set up for his own defeat, right? And the way that it's going down, you know, he's trying to make the most of it that he can. And John's just not good.
Well, let's not. This is where I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, because while I think both of them looked slow, both of them missed spots, messed up timing, both of them had, you know, a little bit of good and a lot of bit of bad in that match, in my opinion. But the one thing in the match to me, like in the actual match before Seth comes out, that did impress me was John Cena when he did that. He did the
as adjustment.
Yeah, like he squatted him, like caught CM Punk on his knees, stood up, curled him up onto his shoulders, and then hit the attitude adjustment, or the STFU, like, you know, the true fans call it. But
he did it on Braun too.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, that one thing that John Cena did in this 20-minute match was really cool. I didn't have a moment like that for CM Punk. I will agree with you, CM Punk probably looked more consistent throughout the match than John Cena did, but John Cena had the better moment. So I feel like it was there. All in all, I wasn't happy with the match, and I think it kind of goes equal blame on both.
I'm going to go all the way back to, I guess it was War Game. Was it War Games where we had CM Punk team up with
Roman, and he was great in that. He was great in that.
All the way back to there. When you started with that storyline there, CM Punk gave you everything in every match. Even when they made him go toe-to-toe with McIntyre over and over and over again, CM Punk shined in a lot of that stuff. And to me, the fact that we are now sitting here almost a year later, a few months, we're 3 months away from being a year later, and still this guy does not have any type of hardware around his waist. It is pathetic. I'm sorry. It's sad, and it's a waste. It's the same waste that we feel like with LA Knight, right? Like some of these other guys. And of all the people that deserves to have that, I mean, you're turning CM Punk into the new Dolph Ziggler. And I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the sentiment. I have a feeling we'll get into that again later when we're talking about Raw.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. Let's move on a little bit. One of my favorite matches of the night was Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton.
I mean,
how did you feel about this, John?
I mean, Randy Orton's my GOAT and Cody's my current favorite. We'll edit that out. But Randy is my GOAT and Cody is my current favorite. I was eating all of it up. I mean, I thought it was great. But Angel, I'm biased. Those are my guys. So
what'd you think of the result, Angel?
I mean, it was pretty well known. That's what they were gonna do. Obviously, setting up for Cody and John Cena at SummerSlam. You know, it kind of sucks that they got Randy that far just for him to lose. But at the end, it kind of looked like one of these guys is gonna turn heel. Just depends who. I'm hearing. I mean, Cody said in an interview, his babyface run's almost coming to an end. So, you know,
me and John were talking about that. Yeah, I didn't like the ending personally, just because I feel like that they have really done a lot to. I mean, I love Randy Orton. I like Cody, but they've done a lot to really like get me excited about Randy Orton in a one last run and him being, you know, one more dominant like opportunity at a title. And I think how like ceremonial would it be to be able to have Randy and Cena go again after their last fight and Randy win?
I got one thing. Cody Rhodes. I keep saying Sami Zayn gets pushed down our throat, dude. Cody Rhodes for the last 2-3 years has been.
I'm going to disagree with you.
I'm
going to
He's
disagree
won
with you.
2 Royal Rumbles, King of the Ring, like 3 WrestleMania main events.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
And he's a mid-carder before he came over here.
He was a mid-carder when he left, and then he went and started his own company that became a legitimate competition for the WWE by design.
By choice,
he could have easily put the belt on himself, and he chose not to. That's not going to be
John.
held against.
Let me jump in here real quick because
hang on, he's coming at my guy, so I gotta.
I'm gonna set you up on a softball. I'm gonna set you a softball. Can I go off the wall for you?
Yeah, go off the backboard.
For those of you who don't know and you aren't playing the game rematch, you should, and you're missing out on a lot of enjoyment if you aren't. Anyway, I think the proper thing to say, Angel, that I can maybe get on board with you about is that I feel like that they are using in the terms of CM Punk maybe not getting the stages for him to shine that he should, right? Like he's getting put on large stages to lose. In the same vein, I think they're putting Cody on too large of a stage for him to win, if that makes sense. I don't like the stages they're booking him at that height. And I think that that's where the issue is. But to say that Cody is getting shoved down our throat would be to say that during the PG era that Cena was getting shoved down your throat. And then if that doesn't happen, then you don't get Super Cena. And we wouldn't be sitting here having the conversation about Cena in this situation. Right, John?
Yeah, I agree with you somewhat, but I think Cody's right where he needs to be. I'll tell you why. I understand where you're coming from, Angel, saying that, Cody's been shoved down our throats. Here's the difference, in my opinion, though. We've said it about Sammy. We've said it about Gunther. We've said it about a number of other wrestlers. This person is getting shoved down our throats, and I do not care. I've said it about Damian Priest, said it about a bunch of, and I do eventually come around on some of these things, but I have said that about multiple wrestlers. They're getting shoved down our throats, and I do not care about them at all. Nobody on this show, including Cap and Ruben, have ever said, I don't care about Cody Rhodes. They've said, I don't like Cody Rhodes. I'm rooting against Cody Rhodes. They've never said, I don't care about him. And I think that's the difference. Like, he may be getting shoved down our throats, but it's because he's the best they got.
And he's good in the ring. Like, Cody's got great moves. Like, that's the one thing I can give Cody, even when I myself have been one who loves Cody and saying I'm getting Cody fatigue when he had the belt. Like, I think that Cody's move set is exciting. Like, when he hits a Cody cutter or, any of them, pick one. It's exciting. Yeah, like it's good. But I think at this point, like, you have to believe that everything we're getting, as much as I don't necessarily like the result, to y'all's point, like, I think it's setting him up because we're setting Cody up for the heel turn. That's what I think.
And what if we get I don't want to go off the rails too much here with like a fantasy booking session, but just what if we got a heel turn from both Cody and Randy working together, because Randy was Cody's mentor of his first go around in WWE. And that is a well-known relationship. Fans know it and all that. What if we got them being heels together?
Can I take it a step further? What if you had Cody and Randy? Randy's got the voices in his head. Cody's the one helping him kind of walk through that while they go after what was taken from them. And you add Karrion Kross.
Yeah, faction.
Or, I mean, if we don't want to get too many factions here, because we've seen that before. But like, if we wanted to minimize overhead here with factions, what if Cody and Randy turn heel and join Seth? And
that would be crazy.
You have like WWE's version of the Bullet Club, pretty much.
But what are you going to do with Braun and?
They'd still be there. They'd still be there.
But I feel like that would diminish their value.
That wouldn't be Bullet Club. That'd be NWO. Just all
Yeah,
the
but you're diminishing their value, in my opinion, if you do that. Like, to me, when you put Randy and Cody in there, now it's like Braun becomes lost in that shuffle, and that's the last thing you want is having Braun, because I love Braun in the role he's at right now. But we can get more into that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kind of highlight through some of these and stop on two that I know y'all gonna want to talk about. We had the Queen of the Ring, Jade won. Might I say, gear was awesome. Old School Storm, freaking dope. Some of the coolest gear she's had all year. I liked the result on that. You guys good with the results?
To be quite honest, in that match, I didn't really care either way. Between her and Asuka, either one's fine with me.
I think the right person won. I think Jade's been getting a little push here lately.
Mm-hmm. So she deserves it.
Was the right call. Yeah,
she's improving. She's definitely improving. Her mic skills are getting really good too.
Yeah, she's getting booed, but I think most of the women over there get booed.
Yeah. Raquel.
I think Raquel should have won.
I agree. I would have liked to see Raquel win, which I never thought I'd say, but here we are.
It wouldn't hurt Rhea, but now it's like, all right, Raquel, you're back to the tag team division.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we saw that coming, right? But we were hoping for something different.
Cool spot with the table, though. Kind of sucks
that
cool. The ref had to hold it, but that's just being nitpicky. It's for safety.
Okay, and then I know you are going to talk about these two. Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross.
Oh, God. Jeez. Angel, would you like to go off first, or would you like to let me go off first?
I got you real quick. We need to quit this facade, this fake thing, this picture that Sami Zayn's an underdog. That dude wins more than anybody, and Karrion Kross should have won. They should have given him a W. He needs it badly, desperately. Sami Zayn does not need a W. And what was the point of Sami winning on the weekend and then taking a pinfall today? Like, it makes no sense.
No sense. 100% agree. And this is like, I am so sick of Sami Zayn. The whole and this coming. I like Sami Zayn. Like, I liked him in Lucha Underground when he was El Generico. I liked him in his OG run in NXT. I've liked him at times on the main roster, like when he did that the Liberator or whatever he was. He was basically a communist running around. I thought that was hilarious, and like, I liked it. I am sick of Sami Zayn being, he's everybody's best friend, and he's just like, he talks to a different person in a backstage segment every week, and then we're supposed to believe they're best friends. And then he goes out there and he'll tag with them. And then next week he's going to be tagging with somebody else. And then the week after that, he'll be tagging with a different person.
Sami Zayn's like a stray dog. He's a stray dog. Has no home. You know who he's turning into? You know who he's turning into for me? He's turning into Gunther. In terms of storytelling.
He's below Gunther in my book. But
I'll go there. I'll go there with you. I'm more over Sami than I am Gunther. Because at least Gunther's getting good matches and is at least good in the ring. I'm tired of seeing the same old junk. Like, we're at a point now to where, like, whenever they came in there during Night of Champions, him and Penta, and he's over here like being all friendly with Penta. Like, no, that don't even make sense. Don't.
Yeah, I don't like Sami Zayn's in-ring gear. I don't like Sami Zayn's move set. I think the Helluva Kick is a stupid finisher. I don't like aesthetically. I would like him to be bigger and more cut. Sorry, not body shaming here. I'm certainly not cut, but hey, I'm not getting paid the big bucks either. And what else? I think his song is annoying. And look, I like ska music and I like punk rock music. His song is annoying. And like, I'm sick of his inspirational speeches backstage to Jey Uso or whoever else will listen. And like, oh, believe in yourself. We need you to win. But shut up, Sami Zayn. We're tired of it. Sorry. I will. Whew, got me all riled up. And you made Karrion Kross lose, which is like, it's the first match that Karrion Kross has had in
He looked
months.
great.
He looks fantastic. The fans want to see Karrion Kross. When have you seen fans selling out the merch of somebody that ain't even on TV? He's not even getting in the ring.
Matt
and he
Cardona.
finally gets in the ring. Yeah, not since Matt Cardona. But it's like he finally gets in the ring and you make him lose to when he's winning the entire match. He's winning. And then he gets a weak Helluva kick and immediately gets pinned.
Because he's
That
the
was
ultimate underdog.
terrible.
Yeah, I'm bottom line, we're over Sami Zayn, and you really put a damper on the Karrion Kross, I guess, shot, we'll say, out here that we all wanted.
The only positive of that match is that we actually got Karrion on TV this week because of it. So good, I guess.
Yeah, agree.
Okay, so next one, last one that I know we want to talk about, Jacob versus Solo. The Fatu reign is over.
I have issues with this, but overall I'm okay with it because I think Solo has really been coming into his own and he's actually pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
I have issues with I didn't want Jacob to lose, but I didn't hate seeing Solo win either.
Now we get to see Jacob heel a babyface trying to climb the ladder to win it back. So I'm looking forward to that. I wonder if he brings in backup because it's 4 versus 1 now. So we'll see. And I guess this is a new revamped bloodline with that big old 7-foot Samoan. I didn't even know they made him that tall.
Where'd you come from?
Also, too, just in little rumor news in association to this match, afterwards, there was a cryptic tweet by another Fatu in Zilla, the red phone.
Dude, if Zilla came in to have his brothers back, oh, that'd be pretty electric. Love me some Zilla Fatu.
That would be wild. I would love to see Zilla go in and put a beat down on Solo Sikoa. That would
Also,
be.
Tonga Loa's back.
Yeah.
Our favorite meme is back.
Can we talk about how they built that up and made that a big deal as if, like, when Jimmy came back, like, no one cared. No one cares.
He's a meme. He's a walking meme. That's why.
It's crazy to me.
Walking botch.
Yeah, he's a walking botch.
I don't know. I didn't like it. Y'all know how I feel about Solo. I am buying more into Solo. I'll say that. I think Solo's gotten better. But again, I am not. Jacob is Jacob. It is what it is. It's Jacob Fatu. He has solidified himself as a top guy that I feel like could step into a world heavyweight title, and he would not be out of place at this point. From the in-ring to the work he's put in on the mic, I just love me some Jacob Fatu.
I agree. I am also coming around to, like, I agree with everything you said. I'm just also coming around to Solo. I think he's shown vast improvement.
Agreed.
I'm like, okay, all right.
He's finding his lane. Like, they're finally figuring out how to write him well to where he can, like, actually thrive.
He's a funny, evil supervillain.
Yeah, that's
he's a comic book villain.
He's a comic book villain in that, like he's an evil genius, but he's also a moron. Like, at the same time, like that's what makes a good.
He's naive, a naive. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
But where I think it's working now is because, to me, him versus Roman was never believable.
No,
just in terms of status alone, like, you're like, this feels like it's beneath Roman. Him and Jacob, even though, like, in a real fight, I think Jacob is ripping Solo's head off his body.
The storyline,
but like, in the story, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense because Solo is the one that brought him in, and it was like over him.
And it
So
was,
it
I
makes
love you,
sense.
Solo.
Yeah,
And now
so-
the whole thing is, I want to hear you say it again. Like, I love that. That's great.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Overall grade.
For Night of Champions, I'm gonna give it a B minus.
Same grade that I'm going to give it.
Just didn't give it a B.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad. I was entertained, but there were some results I wish didn't happen.
Wasn't a banger, but it wasn't bad.
It's not one that it's one that I enjoyed watching.
But you won't remember it.
It's not one that I texted in the group chat like, hey, y'all have to go watch this right now if you're not watching. So that's where I'm at with it.
I would
Okay.
say I would text you, go see CM Punk versus Cena last. Just because it's CM Punk and that's the last match. Triple H said, we're never getting this again. It's the last time.
Okay, let's move on. Last night, Raw. Match opens, Rhea Ripley.
Someone called it on Twitter and it was word per word what she said. What's next for mommy? I need the title. I'm gonna get the title, and then Io comes out. But I'm just sick of it. I'd rather see Io versus Asuka.
I'd rather see Io versus Kairi Sane after they cut that Kairi Sane vignette later in the show.
That was a cool vignette, and
It
it's
really
in Japanese.
Yeah,
like we say, it's looks more dope.
Let me ask you this. Do you guys feel like that mommy is a little out of place right now with not having feud really with Dom anymore? You've got Judgment Day's kind of forgotten about. Liv's not here.
I don't think that Rhea's ever out of place. She's the most over female by a mile, and probably top 3 most over in the company in general. I think so. Like, she's never out of place. The fans want to see her. We are in a unique position where we we have to cover this. We have to give our opinions, and we watch literally everything. So I feel like maybe we have Rhea fatigue. I certainly do. I know that y'all have said it in the past. I don't know that the WWE universe has Rhea fatigue. And until that happens, this is what we're going to get.
I don't have Rhea fatigue though. My thing is, I feel like that without those storylines, and I'll say even more specifically, even without Liv, it just kind of feels like since that kind of whole storyline's kind of been over with, it's like, where's the writing for her? I think Rhea does very well with a long-term storytelling type of
that's her
push
wheelhouse.
on her. And so without that, it does feel a little stale. It feels like, again, like they're just trying to insert her because that's what people want versus what like the story requires.
Bruh, tell me it would have been dope if Stephanie Vaquer walked out and we got that match at Evolution 2.
That I would be more interested in seeing.
That would have been cool.
Yes.
But I heard somewhere that Io hasn't defended it since WrestleMania. So
yeah, she's wrestled, but it's been like in a tag or something like that.
It. And her first title defense is against Rhea Ripley, which she beat twice already. WrestleMania, and then to beat her for the title.
That's my point.
It's not we don't hate Rhea. It's just like, dude, you got all these women out here.
You have the women's division in WWE from NXT all the way through is the most stacked roster in wrestling. And you've got so many like people that you can one thing we didn't mention about Night of Champions is Julia got a title.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
SmackDown.
So down for that. But like, dude, that's just one. You got the entire pipeline of NXT that is just on fire right now. Right. And then you got there's so many women on the main roster that you're like, dude, what are they doing with you? Because we've seen you before and you're freaking uber talented.
And that's my point. that's why I'm saying like I'm going to be a lot more critical of the women's division because of that element. Like you don't have to keep running this back. You have other things you can go pull from. But yeah,
Like, tell me if y'all agree or disagree with this. Main roster only, right? Main roster only. The men's side, it feels like there are very clearly defined tiers. You got your S tier, which is Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and John Cena. That's like your S tier. Then you've got like the second tier, which would be like LA Knight, Braun Breaker, these guys, right? Like you can quit. Like we might disagree on one or two here and there, but by and large, I feel like if we ranked these guys, it would be pretty similar. With the female side, it just feels wide open to me. Like you could have somebody not be on the show for a month and then immediately come in and challenge for the title, and it'd be believable to me because I feel like they're all that good. Like, man, not all of them, not all of them, but like a lot of them are equally as good. But they're being treated like the men's side, where it's like, oh, really? Only these 5 guys can hold the title. So it's like, okay, really? We only got like 3 females that can hold the title. Everybody else is just kind of cannon fodder. And I don't think that's right because they're not the same. They're drastically different divisions, but they're booking them the same.
I agree. Okay, Angel, Dom and AJ Lee, AJ Styles exchange. What'd you think?
That was hilarious. What, you can put on your glasses? Yeah, I am. Actually, I thought it was pretty funny. And I actually put this on our Instagram, so go follow Talkin Turnbuckles on IG. Give me Dom versus AJ Styles title versus hair match.
Ooh.
Yes.
Somebody's getting the buzz cut.
That's a good one.
Bring back goofy stuff like that from the Ruthless Aggression era stuff. Like,
I mean, did we lose it? We just came off of what was it? A little over a year ago, we had Dom back in a cage.
Oh, the Shark Tank match or whatever.
I mean,
but in Mexico that happens a lot. Let's say
what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? There's no difference to me. It's a gimmick match.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's fine.
I enjoy a good gimmick match.
Yeah, and if AJ Styles, wins the title, boom. But there's stakes in the line. It's not just like, oh yeah, I'm the challenger. I want this fight. Like put something on the line. Let me see that hair on the line, because they both had long, beautiful hair in that promo, and I was like, man, it'd be cool, hair versus hair match. But
John,
obviously, he has a title.
John, Judgment Day wins the tag titles.
I thought it was awesome. I gave this match a 4-star grade. I thought it was it is what you want from 2 great tag teams. And I think that is, I've been so out on the New Day from their, like, I do not like this heel turn. I'm not a fan of it. But tonight's match, I was like, I still love the New Day because of how good they are in the ring. And shout out JD McDonough. He has been on the rise for all of us since he gained massive respect from finishing that match with a punctured lung. And now I just can't stop rooting for the guy. And I like, dude, he was flipping all over the ring. It was fantastic. Finn looked great. I like no notes. I get, like, the only reason it didn't get a 5-star from me is because I didn't feel like there was really that one defining moment that was like, holy, what they chant in the stadium, holy crap. There wasn't that moment for me, but it was just, there was nothing bad in the match either. So I gave it a 4-star. Thought it was great. Love that Judgment Day has gold now. I think that's cool.
That was a cool picture.
Yeah.
And then Angel, Rusev versus Sheamus.
Banger after banger after banger. Sheamus does not miss.
Give
this guy a title, dude. he can take the title off of Dominic, and I wouldn't be sad about it. This guy's busting his butt.
I know we're like speed running this, but I wanna comment on that match because they actually said it. Michael Cole said it in commentary. He's like, "This looks like a match straight out of the late 70s," and I was like, "Yes, it does. Like, it looks like that golden era stuff that we, either grew up watching or went back and watched it later because we're
no gimmicks,
wrestling,
just straight
nerds.
wrestling,
just straight up two big burly men slapping each other." And it was
Sami
awesome.
landed a knee, I legit thought he hurt Rusev, and he kicked out at one. I was like, dude, that looked painful. That knee fell on that chest.
And to your point too, John, like Rusev coming and pulling off the turnbuckle, we hadn't seen that in a while.
Yeah, that was
that's
some
old
grimy
move.
stuff, right? That was like some old grimy Ric Flair stuff.
Yeah, that was nice. And one of the more interesting things, Ludwig Kaiser, El Grande Americano.
You have to shout out Ruben on this because Ruben put the nail in the head last week on the show. He's like, because we saw Ludwig in the background of Chad Gable and Penta's backstage fight, and he was like, "Watch, they're gonna put Ludwig as El Grande Americano," and sure enough, a week later, it's
shout out Ruben.
Hilarious.
WWE tweeted out, Grande Americano looks different, doesn't like question mark.
He looks 8 inches taller.
Like,
I think it's hilarious. I think it's awesome that they're just like, we're gonna gaslight you and tell you that this has been Ludwig Kaiser the whole time.
Well, now I'm like, who is the guy that didn't have the tattoo on his back? Who is that? Who was that? That was definitely not Ludwig. Who was playing Chad Gable a few months back?
I don't know.
And then you had the Gunther promo, which I thought was great.
I have some stuff.
Okay.
On this one, this is what we're all gonna get in on this. I thought Gunther's promo was really good. I liked when I wrote down a couple quotes, like when he said Goldberg's matches are all summed up in 3 minutes. Chef's kiss. We were all thinking it. You said it. And telling Goldberg that he's trying to ride my coattails to end his career. That was great. And then his like finishing line was, "We'll see if you still got it, but I know you've never had it." And I was like, fire. Absolute fire. And then all of it was ruined by letting CM Punk come out. And CM, I don't know if it was a botch. I don't know if Gunther like actually tripped and he wasn't supposed to fall or whatever. I don't know. But when he gets shoved by CM Punk and then just sits on the ground looking up at CM Punk like he's scared, I was like, this is our champion? This is our world heavyweight champion? And I'm not getting on Gunther for that. That was clearly a writing choice or a botch. Like, I'm not getting on Gunther for this, but I'm getting on the writing. This is our world heavyweight champion who is getting shoved over by a guy who just had a snooze fest of a match with John Cena, and then I'm sorry, I'm mad at CM Punk right now, but like that's your world heavyweight champion. That's exactly why y'all said it in the group chat. We've said it multiple times on the show. Does that title even matter? That is clearly the B title. Like, does it matter?
It's a consolation for people who aren't getting the big title shots, in my opinion. But I would disagree with you a little bit, because I think that there are two ways you can look at it. You can look at it the way you looked at it, or to me, this was, I will actually say, the one time that I've been like, okay, I actually like how you set this up. Because whenever Gunther, to me, the best part of the promo was when he looked in the camera and said, is there anyone that can hang basically with the ring general? And then CM Punk's music hit. I was like, okay, Now you got me. And so for me, when all that happened, and there was almost like this very, obviously ulterior motive of congratulation, CM Punk comes in. And when CM Punk shoves him, to me, it was more of Gunther looking at him as a how dare you than it was a scared, because I felt like it was him going, I'm not in your beef. And you have the audacity to push the ring general to the ground on my moment, my time in the ring, and you come and interrupt it, and you want to have your beef, fine, that's fine. I'm going to stand back here in the corner like you did and just kind of observe. But you're gonna do that to me? In Gunther's character and the way they've written him, that's how I took that.
I hadn't thought of it that way, and like if they like
They got to build on
address it, if they build
Yes.
on it and address it, I have no problem walking back and being like, you know what, Jet, you were right. Like the way they set that up was good for the long term. As of right now, with nothing built on top of it, I hate it.
Because tell me this, Angel, how, we've been very critical of the writing for Gunther. How interested would you be? Because we know Seth isn't going to go after that title. Let's just be honest. That's not what he's interested in. So that's one thing. But now all of a sudden you have this unintentional beef with CM Punk because he disrespected the ring general. And it's almost like a CM Punk going, what? What you think that you are going to come out the best in the world? What? Almost like a not even taking it seriously until he has to take it seriously. And now you have an actual storyline between CM Punk and Gunther because something has actually happened. That gets me excited.
So how I saw it, obviously CM Punk comes out, fights Seth, doesn't even acknowledge Gunther. He's on the corner, staring down Seth, and he was gonna walk away, not even acknowledging Gunther. And Gunther grabs him by the arm, and that's when he pushes him. But to me, it's like Gunther's like, "What? Hey, I'm right here, dude. What the heck?" But like you said, he said, "Who's next?" And I think we're getting CM Punk versus Gunther, and I actually like that. That would put the title. That would put the title in a bigger pedestal.
Correct.
We don't care for Gunther versus Bill Goldberg. I care about Gunther versus CM Punk.
I agree with that. And like I said, if they build on this and do what y'all are saying, I'll walk it back. Hey, you know what? WWE, you were right. I was wrong. Doesn't happen very often, but congratulations. Here's my problem with it, though. If it was just this, perfect, fine. But this is after Gunther goes the distance with Pat McAfee when he should have squashed him. This is after Gunther taps out to Jey Uso, which shouldn't have happened if you're going to put the title right back on Gunther. You shouldn't have made him look weak like that. And then now you get this thing. And to me, it's just like, do y'all want us to believe that Gunther is, the ring general, the best technical wrestler in the WWE? Or do you not want us to believe that? Because it's like, you're telling me you want me to believe this, but everything that you're showing me is making me not believe it.
I think Gunther is the perfect stopgap. That's what I think for that title. I think they wanted to see what they could do with Gunther in that title. I think it didn't work. I think then they pivoted and they used him to push Jay and then gave it back to him because they kind of was more of a, hey, thanks for, doing what you've done in your role. And now they're like, okay, now we're ready to start pushing that title again. And that's going to start with putting it around CM Punk. Because you put that title on CM Punk, now it makes it very, very difficult to just disregard it for Seth.
You know what would be cool? This is just random. What if we had Braun win the Raw title and Seth win the SmackDown title? I don't think we've ever seen a faction with two champs. Wouldn't that be cool?
Would be cool. And then you could pull the whole, you could let it go for a little bit. And then you could pull the whole, like, Braun starts trying to call some shots and Seth's like, hey, what's up? And then Braun's like, I'm a champ too.
Like Braun looks like a star, dude.
Because I can make some decisions too, and then you get Braun and Seth, like champion versus champion. Dude, I'm here for it.
Okay, let me give you this. CM Punk gets the strap from Gunther. CM Punk and Seth start having this. Well, is he going to cash in on CM Punk? What's going on here? And basically, it turns to a Braun Breaker taking the light work. Breaker beats CM Punk. Now Breaker has a strap, but Seth hasn't cashed in yet.
Oh, cashing on Braun.
And he goes to cash in on,
or like just never cash in, but like have that moment where it's like he has the opportunity to, and everybody's like, "Oh crap, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it to his own guy?"
And I think what happens is I think he cashes in on him because the spotlight gets bigger on Braun, and he don't like that, and because he doesn't have a belt, and it becomes the famous line, "It's just business." And Braun squashes the cash in and holds it. Seth moves off, goes into.
I hate seeing failed cash in attempts. That's my own personal thing. I want to see the cash in win every time. I might be in the minority.
Let's meet in the middle. He goes to cash, and they set it up to where they basically turn on Braun. But Braun ends up getting up and spears Seth before he can turn it in. And Seth goes into a reworking of himself. And that's what ends up what we want down the line, pushing into this thing to where Seth has like this moment where he realizes what he's done, makes up with Roman. And that's where you start getting the relationship repair for the Shield.
I think Mox will ever come back, though.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I've read today, brother.
He will, because I have been wishing for it every birthday I've had.
He's been manifesting it.
Dude, but seriously, they've said that Moxley is having, like, there's a lot of heat backstage. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on with people not happy with them. There's a lot of stuff going on right now with Moxley.
The belt hasn't been seen on TV for like a year. It's in that briefcase.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What else do we miss on Raw?
Then you've got the Bayley and Lyra, which, again, you know how I feel about Bayley.
All right.
I think she's mid.
I agree. Angel doesn't. Angel loves Bayley, and that's fine.
Not physically, Angel. We're talking the wrestler.
Yeah,
but
Mexican. I gotta.
But my wife was watching Raw with me today, yesterday.
She thought Bayley was cool.
And she said what I think perfectly sums up Bayley. She said, "How is she both too much and not enough at the same time?" And I was like, that is the meanest thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
But it is also pretty accurate. She explained it. She said all of her gear, all of the colors clash with her hair, like her bright purple hair, like none of her gear like goes together and all that. And the way that she like acts and talks, it's like it's too much. It's too much, like you're trying too hard. But then when she gets in the ring, like her ability does not live up to that, and it's not enough. Like Bayley's never been that good in the ring, y'all. I don't know if Angel, do you agree, disagree?
If what?
Like, do you think, in comparison to the rest of the female roster, do you think Bayley's that good in the ring?
When she was the hugger Bayley, I think she was good in the ring. I don't know if she's that. Like, she's not gonna do like a backflip or do a crazy stunt. She's just like old school wrestling, I guess.
Yeah,
compared to now.
Her finisher for most of her career was a belly-to-belly suplex.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that ain't cutting it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. But hey, I'll say this. I've been really high on Lyra lately.
She's shredded.
Wait, what?
I said Lyra shredded. Her back was like...
Oh, yeah, she's very, very muscular.
Big CrossFit girl.
I find myself caring less and less about her the further away from Becky she is.
I agree.
I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be. I know I'm a Becky fanboy, so I'm trying to take my bias out of it. But
Ooh, okay, you ready? I'm gonna give you something. I think right now, I think Lyra is the Gunther of the women's division. It's like, what storyline do you have? Like, other than Bailey?
Well, I mean,
Like, not Bailey, Becky. Other than Becky, what storyline have you had? You've had this belt. Your matches haven't meant anything.
She's just a good girl defending her belt.
Yeah.
And that never goes over. The Rock, Rocky Maivia never goes over.
Yeah. I don't know. The further she gets away from Becky, the less I care.
Last match, Penta Sammy versus Braun Bronson.
Braun Bronson?
Braun and Bronson.
Bronson
and Bronson. The
Bronson
most
and
intimidating
Bronson.
law firm you've ever
Braun
seen.
Breaker's a star. He needs a belt. He should have just gone straight to the main event. He should have never joined this faction. He is a star. That's all.
Give me Braun Breaker spear to John Cena and take that belt.
I have one thing written down in my notes for this match, and it is, thank God Sammy didn't win. And that's all I got.
He's the one that took the pinfall too, right?
He took the pin.
Yeah, I mean, he better have after getting, murked by Killer Cross earlier in the night. Karen Cross.
Yeah. I also don't think he did a good job of selling that his ribs were hurt. I don't think he did a good job of that. I might just be crapping all over Sammy today, but, I just haven't liked anything he's done lately. Sorry.
Without Kevin Owens or the Bloodline, he's been pretty still.
All right, grade.
Ooh.
Grade for tonight's show.
Give it a C. I was entertained on the drive over here, but I'm pretty sure I would have fell asleep if I was watching it on my couch after the tag team match with Finn Balor, because that was a good match.
I am going to give it. I'm going to give it a C+. It wasn't must-watch TV, but there were some good moments.
I'm going to give it a B. I think that the tag team match, the Rusev and Sheamus match, and then Gunther's promo situation, I think to me that saved it.
That's what made it not an F.
I have something to add to this whole thing. If Dom's going to be hurt, they need to take the title off of him. We have Rusev, freaking Sheamus, a bunch of mid-carders that are kind of just stuck. AJ Styles.
LA Knight.
Yeah, there's nothing going on because the title's being held up. He's defended it one time since he won it, dude.
And I love Dom.
And we love Dom. This is like, bro, defend that.
We're Dom's fan club. But you know what? We haven't been getting a whole lot of Dom lately. Nope. Haven't been getting a whole lot of return on our investment.
Nope. Just a bunch of promos in the back playing PlayStation. And here we have Sheamus banger after banger. Rusev. Like, what are we doing with Rusev? He just beat Sheamus in a banger of a match. What's next for him?
I'd like to see that match again, personally. But
2 out of 3.
Yeah. Put him in a cage.
All right. Well, this was your reactions. Guys, if you're not subscribed, go check out the Instagram, the YouTube, probably watching already. If you're not, drop a like, drop a comment, let us know. What are your thoughts? What you think of the match? And what are you looking forward to for the next show? So, Johnny the Dad, Angel Kicks Balls, Jet, Talkin Turnbuckles.
We out.